Mount Ararat at 4,630 meters altitude, Part 9. Today Noah's Ark is inside of a cavern at 4,630 meters altitude. The Ark fell from its landing area of 4,991 meters into this crevice or cavern at 4,605 meters, and then sometime later fell into this other cavern at 4,630 meters altitude. Its fall to 4,630 meters caused most probably by a glacier that pushed over and against the ship on its right side, causing it to fall over the edges of a cavern at 4,605 meters, above the one at 4,630 meters. Though the ship's hull at 4,630 meters altitude appears intact, the ship in its fall on 4,605 meters left a vast debris field, which by far exceeds the width of the ship, of both how the ship presents itself in the cavern at 4,630 meters and of that width that the Bible gives of Noah's Ark. The debris field in this picture, because of its width that exceeds the width of the ship, gives evidence to believe that the ship was pushed by a glacier all across this area. The glacier today no longer exists, and reason why the ship today is visible along with its debris fields. The push of this glacier, pushing against the right side of Noah's Ark, with the ship's bottom hull mostly broken, caused the ship to empty its cargo over the rock ground of this cavern at 4,605 meters. The process where the ship emptied its cargo of floors, rooms, animal cages, and other material from the inside of the ship over the rock ground was probably going on for years, if not centuries, with the glacier pushing against the right side of the ship, moving the ship over the rock ground, causing it to break its bottom hull, emptying on the ground its interior structures, pushed by a glacier probably only a few centimeters a year, until the ship fell over the edges of this cavern at 4,605 meters, to then fall in the other cavern at 4,630 meters. In fact, as this image appears, there is debris of the ship over the edges of that cavern at 4,605 meters. The Ark fell from its landing area at 4,991 meters into this crevice or cavern at 4,605 meters, and then, sometime later, fell into this other cavern at 4,630 meters altitude. At least 3 times Noah's Ark hit the rock ground, and 3 times it hit it hard and violently, and each time it hit the ground, it left debris fields. From 4,991 meters, it left a long trail of the ship's hull, rooms and structures as that of buildings, until it crossed over 2 rock hills, A and B, where rock hill B, though appearing smaller than A, ends with a steep cliff, where the ship fell from this cliff, hitting the rock bottom of a cavern at 4,605 meters, where in time a huge debris field was created through the actions of a glacier and then, sometime later, fall into another cavern at 4,630 meters altitude, and there, too, leaving a debris field from its fall. But from where is all this debris field coming from? If the ship at 4,630 meters appears with its hull mostly intact. Appears, yes, but it's only appearance. The true picture is a very different picture, because at 4,630 meters altitude, half the ship is hidden and under the shadow of the cavern, where it rests, and in many of these pictures, that black of the right side of Noah's Ark is not just pitch, but the shadow of the rock cavern. From the superstructure area, most of which hidden under the rock shadow of the cavern, the little visible scene shows multiple collapses of building roofs. The barge structure has areas not visible at all. But along with this, there is something else. The right side of the barge structure of Noah's Ark is not its side, but its bottom hull, and the ship's width is instead its height. The ship at 4,630 meters altitude is twisted, bent, detached, collapsed, and most of the barge structure, instead of laying horizontally, is standing up vertically. I understood this some time ago when I took the measures of the ship. The ship, as it appears, does not have the Bible measures of Noah's Ark. But then later, understanding the reasons why the measures were not that of the Bible, and then discovering that they were the measures of the Bible. Example, the barge structure, that instead of laying down horizontally, is instead standing up vertically. There were still surprises in its measures. I will explain these strange measures of Noah's Ark in another episode. Next episode is what is that debris of Noah's Ark at 4,605 meters, because if these buildings and rooms contained animals, then Noah's Ark had on board saber-toothed predators, woolly mammoths, and even bigger creatures.